George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. Karin Franklin, King, is somebody we feel real good about. Long time person in the community. I want to say legacy in media, acting, but she's here today to talk about the Jackie Warren Festival being put on by the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company. So, Karin, what do you do for the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company?
What don't I do? I've been with the organization for decades. I started out as a performer and then a consultant, and then I stayed on the board. So I'm a board member officially, and I facilitate whatever needs to be facilitated. I still perform with the organization. I am a producer with whatever productions come up. I've directed shows, and I definitely do a lot of grant writing for the organization. So it's more like, what don't I do?
and for people in the community, you also sing. You're an actor. You sing. You're a triple threat. You sing, you dance, you perform.
Aren't you sweet?
You do all of that, and long time. I'm gonna take. I need people to go back when we talk about media and legacy. A lot of people know Jackie Robinson because Jackie was on Channel 3 for 100 years. Not really Jackie, but before. I don't want to say before Jackie, but maybe before Jackie. About
Before
the same
Jackie.
before Jackie on News Channel 9, there was Open Line with Karin Franklin, and a lot of people don't know that.
You remembered? Yes, it was before Oprah, and I still love saying she stole my thunder, but it was a daily live talk show. And it was before we had guests that came on the show. We had a telephone next to me most of the time, and the guest was there, and then folks would call in to talk to the guests, and they could talk to people like Little Richard, Harry Belafonte. We had wonderful, wonderful guests, and it was the same time Syracuse Stage was just gearing up, so they were bringing in a lot of equity performers. So and the one thing that I really loved also is that we were able to do things for the community. Folks would come on and talk about community issues, and we problem solve. And that went on for 8 years.
So you're a legacy in this community, and then of course you did some work on what is now iHeart, but it was something else before that. Many things before
on radio that. and Clear Channel and
New
Time
City.
Warner Cable.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, Karin was doing everything. So now remind us of what Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company is.
The organization is over 40 years old, and our mission is to provide a platform for Black and Brown artists to tell their story through their own lens. You hear stories about having to go to another stage company to do their shows or to do a play that they're putting on, but they're not coming from the African-American experience, from the Black and Brown experience of Latinos and African-Americans, Native Americans, et cetera. So Black and Brown artists is who we especially want to lift up and provide a platform for them. And with that, if I may say, we hope to educate, to ignite conversation, and to get people involved in their community and realize that the arts really has healing powers.
I love that. And isn't it true, Karin, that our stories, and I think about Ralph Singh, because he talks about the power of stories, right? And isn't it true that our stories are important, they're validating, and when they're reflected back to us, it gives us a common unity? Talk to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's what we really appreciate about the opportunity to do the Jackie Warren Moore Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie was activist, poet, nationally recognized. She was the first poet laureate for Onondaga County. We never had one before, and she was the first. She was a columnist for the Syracuse.com Post-Standard. And this woman wore her heart on her sleeve. She would cry at the drop of a hat. But in terms of what you just asked about, telling story through your own lens, that's exactly what she did. And she helped other people to do the same. Jackie had very successful, well-attended, much appreciated workshops, writing workshops in prisons, in the schools, in community centers. When we put together last year's festival, the inaugural festival, I ran into people that said that they did a workshop with Jackie, and one of them went into a room and grabbed the book that was produced, but she helped these parents to speak their truths in their writing. This is just one example. When she went to the schools to do this with the parents, the women as well as the men poured their heart out about how they feel about parenting, about their kids, about the schools, etc. So be able to talk through your own lens without having it filtered, turn it into somebody else, and then they put their own spin on it. She was right on target with what she had to say and how she wanted to say it. One thing we did, and I hope we'll do it again with this festival, is to share a video of Jackie as a performer. She did a poem called Dear Martin, and in it she says, "The children wanted me to talk to you, Martin. What is happening, Martin? And what do we do?" And to know the passion with which she delivered her poems, oh my goodness, blows you away. So we're trying to instill that in the folks who participate in the show and the folks who are going to be in the audience, because we are going to have a conversation after the show.
All right, so tell me what's happening.
What's happening with the festival?
Well, see now, Karin, you and I have been in the business for a long time. That was a layup.
Because I can talk about a lot of things.
Tell me what's happening with this festival, date, time, place, what's going on?
Oh, okay. All right, advertisement time. Not really. Conversation time. We are going to invite the public to join us on Saturday, July 15th at 7 p.m. at the Kirkland Hall stage. That is in the Plymouth Congregational Church. It's downstairs and there's an actual stage. We have seating for close to 200 people. And what we've done is, Sunita Surratt is the director. What we've done the past 3 months is ask people to register. Do you want to do poetry? Do you want to do monologues? Do you want to use your voice to tell your story? So we have the younger people, the high schoolers and early college participants, we call them word warriors. Mm-hmm. Because Jackie's, and this festival is to carry on Jackie's legacy. She's alive through this legacy, but she believed in using your words instead of weapons. And so we have what we call word warriors as a result of the festival. And then we have older adult seasoned performers doing their monologues and poetries as well. Sunita has also characterized this as, when we say voices, it's not just what's coming out of your mouth. We have young ladies who are steppers. They're going to tell their story through step. And George, you must be familiar with that with fraternities.
Yes, I am.
The brothers really come on with that, but the ladies do as well. So we will have that, and music as well. The thing that we're doing differently for this year is that we partner with Interfaith Works and their El Hindi Center for Dialogue and Conversation is to have that kind of presence at the conclusion of the show. We're not just having a talk back, we are having a dialogue, and we hope to bring out whatever themes from the show into that conversation. And right now, the theme is looking like just be human.
So how do people register? What does it cost? And what kind of support would you like?
No need to register, just show up.
Okay.
And the admission
kind
is
of like
by
an open mic. Kind of. Yeah. Right.
Well, they're not going to participate by going on the stage. They will participate after, as we have a conversation.
Right.
But it's admission by donation. We just want you to put some money in the till. You're at a church.
Right. Okay.
You're in the basement. So, and we're making appeals to for other donations, just to keep us going, to be able to pay the performers, to be able to pay for the tech and the things that we have to rent and the hall and the venues and on and on and on. It takes a lot to put on a production. It takes a village, and you are our village. And we're doing this for the community and to say, don't forget what Jackie stood for. Let's honor her.
All right. So it's July 15th, 7 p.m. at the
Yes.
Kirkland Stage, 232 East Onondaga Street in the lower level of the Plymouth Congregational Church. What is the website that people need to know about?
They can go to our Facebook page,
Facebook page? Mm-hmm.
info at the PRPAC, PRPAC, that stands for Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company. Our website is the PRPAC/SYR. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, but Facebook, you'll get lots of information from that. And we're sending out, we have folks volunteering to get our word out through social media. One thing I wanted to add, George, is that the Jackie's family is very supportive of this festival. Her granddaughter, Naya Jordan, was a word warrior in the inaugural festival last year, and she'll be joining us again, doing one of her grandmother's poems and also welcoming the folks. But the main thing is to, with so much violence, with so much turmoil in this world, it's wonderful to be able to get our young people to, and anyone else, to speak their mind through their words, through their movements, but not a gun, not a fist, not a knife. Use your words as a weapon.
So the lineup is pretty much all set. People who are going to do their poetry and things of that nature, that's all set.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of violence, now you take me back to a forum you did a couple of weeks ago. What was your impression of the Community Violence Forum with 100 Black men, and what did you take from that?
What I took from it initially was the turnout. It just showed you the people were really concerned and wanted to find out what they could do. Mm-hmm. And that's what the 100 Black men, I think, were trying to emphasize, is that don't just shake your head, oh, that's too bad, but there is something you can do. And what I took away more than anything else is take back your community. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to be involved. Don't be afraid to say something to someone who's doing something wrong or about to get involved in something that's going to be detrimental. We did have panelists to talk and share numbers and that kind of thing, but the feedback from the participants is what stirred me the most. One that was especially passionate was about in the schools, getting more involved in what our kids are doing in the schools and at home. Don't expect the schools to do everything. Don't expect the community centers to do everything. Don't expect the police to do everything. We are all in this together. Let's find a way that we can do this together. Let's find the commonalities and let's stop the gun violence. It does not have to continue. And when you talk about, well, how do we prevent? My answer is, how do we stop it? Not just prevent it. How do we just stop it?
Yeah.
So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think what I'm also hearing you saying is it's about community. It's about a common unity. It's about people coming together, which is really what this festival is about, because you're going to have sort of a community gathering after the festival to have a dialogue with the El Hindi Center for Dialogue through Interfaith Works. As part of that, using our words, because words have the power. They can hurt and they can heal. And certainly Jackie was one that used her words to heal, but also to I want to say, for lack of a better word, there is a better word, but she also was a truth teller. I was going to say indict a system when it wasn't fair to us, right? And so we just got to tell it like it is. And I think for all of us, Karin, who've been around the block a few times, it's also carrying forward that legacy and making space and making room for people like Jackie's niece or granddaughter, I think you said. Was it niece? Granddaughter. Right. And the legacy of word warriors and peace warriors, right? Coming together to make a new day. So I encourage you all to be at the Kirkland Hall, lower level of the Plymouth Congregational Church, 232 East Onondaga Street, to July 15th, 7 p.m. for the Jackie Warren Moore Festival. Karin
Trying to make this.
Franklin, go ahead.
I just want to say it's entertainment.
Right.
The folks who are involved, Sunita is putting together a story. There will be a story on the stage. For those that can't see me because it's on radio,
Mhm.
I am waving my hands. I'm dancing in front of you.
Well,
because
some people will see you. So there you go.
some people will see you. But there is a story. You will be entertained. You will be entertained. And after that entertainment, once you capture what touches you, then we talk about it, and then we see what needs to be healed, what needs to be changed, what needs to happen in the community.
Well, thank you, Karin Franklin, for touching all of us with the work that you do.
Thank you, George, for all you do. You get the word out. You let us know what's happening in the community, and greatly appreciate it. Really do. Thank you.
Karin Franklin, the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company, support them. Info at the prpac.org. Check them out on Facebook, and throw a little something in the till if you can, to help this PRPAC tell our story here on Inspiration for the Nation.
Amen.
Amen.